Hello, juniors. This is Mrs. Abriani here to explain the instructions for your English 3A Unit 2 activity on the Cask of Amontillado. Hopefully by now you've done the Unit 2 discussion also on the Cask of Amontillado. But if you haven't, please definitely watch this video with these kind of creepy animated characters. The Cask of Amontillado, you'll know already, hopefully, is a barrel of Spanish wine. Okay, a very important object in the plot of this story by Edgar Allan Poe. Watch this video. It really helps you understand. If you've already watched it, watch it again. There's a lot of little things you need to note because you will be writing a 5-paragraph essay about the story this time around. Remember, in your tutorial, there is some vocabulary to help you understand the story. So go ahead, give it another read. Save the instructions to your drive as usual so that you can record your answers there, your notes, and eventually lay out your essay outline and write up your essay in a format where it won't be lost. Okay, essay prompt. In what way is Montresor an unreliable narrator? How does the use of an unreliable narrator influence readers' views of Montresor's actions? Okay, here's our sinister Montresor. He's plotting. He's up to no good. He tells you that right from the start of the story. An unreliable narrator is very common in American Gothic literature. You're going to point out the ways in which Montresor is unreliable and kind of connect it to the story and his actions and how they're viewed. You're going to mention the structure of the story. What does that say about Montresor's perception of the events in the story? And you're going to cite 3 pieces of textual evidence. That could be direct quotations, paraphrased material, and we'll kind of go over these 3 prompts in the next slides here. Unreliable narrator, what is that? There's a video in your American Gothic Literature tutorial that mentions it. Unreliable or unstable. Usually you suspect that something's wrong with them, that they're maybe crazy or insane, in fact. But you don't know it right off the bat. In the case of Montresor, he comes right off in the beginning and says, I'm out for revenge. This guy insulted me 1,000 injuries, right? And it's already he's exaggerating. Already he's showing extreme anger. So he is unstable from the start. But how does that affect the rest of the story? How does it affect how he portrays himself, how he portrays Fortunato, and how you as the reader can trust what he's saying is real or happening? In your American Gothic Literature tutorial, your lesson activity on slide 13, part A, asks you about unreliable narrator. Go ahead, type something into that box, click submit, and read the sample answer. It will give you more ideas about what unreliable narrators are with relation to Montresor in the Cask of Amontillado. Very helpful. Check it out. The structure of the story you need to bring into your essay. What is the structure? It's a narrative. It's Montresor's relaying of events in real time as they happen chronologically, right? Step by step. What's the point of view of the story? It's first person point of view from Montresor's point of view. Whose side of the story do we hear? Just his. We don't get anyone else's side of the story at all. We don't even know what Fortunato did to offend Montresor so much. Whose perspective is missing? Everyone else's. We're just getting a very biased view of what's happening from Montresor, who's already told you he's mad. Can you trust it? No, that's the nature of an unreliable narrator. You cannot trust it. But why? What are your clues? Okay, you need to find 3 pieces of evidence to prove that Montresor is kind of nuts. Remember in your discussion, you were asked to find 3 to 5 pieces of figurative language to discuss. You might find that those pieces of evidence are useful in this essay. Maybe you talked about some foreshadowing, some imagery, the mood, the sensory details. There's a lot of clues that Montresor is leading Fortunato into depths of despair and death. That's the whole story. It just becomes more and more tense and more spooky and creepy, right? As a symbol in your discussion, you may have mentioned the coat of arms. Maybe that's useful here, maybe not. Think about it. Think about a way in which maybe Montresor's family coat of arms is kind of violent here, showing a human killing something. And that's what happens in the story. Montresor kills Fortunato, right? So think about 3 solid pieces of evidence that really prove Montresor is an unreliable, unstable guy. Then you'll start crafting your essay, okay? The introduction is your first paragraph, the most important. Remember, you need a hook. You will never start an essay with, I am going to write about blah, blah, blah. No. Think of an interesting way to capture your reader's attention. Not an easy task. Ask one of your teachers for help on that if you need it. Then you'll provide some background information. You can assume your reader has read this story. You do not need to summarize the entire plot and every event. You just need to quickly talk about the main conflict and quickly connect it into your thesis statement, your ideas, which are going to explain the paper's topic, which for all of you is going to be the same, that Montresor is an unreliable narrator. But you will each have an overview of 3 different main supporting points, okay? So you've picked out your 3 supporting pieces of evidence, and you're going to mention them briefly in your thesis statement. It'll be the last paragraph of your introduction, and it will help lay out your argument, which you will explain in your body paragraphs. Here you have 1, 2, 3 body paragraphs. Body paragraph could be about your first piece of evidence. Body paragraph 2 could be about your second piece of evidence or quote. Body paragraph 3 could be about your third piece of evidence, okay? And you may be thinking, how can I write 3 to 5 sentences, a whole paragraph about one piece of evidence? Trust me, you can if you need help. We English teachers are here to help. But every paragraph starts with an introductory sentence. If you're using a quote, you have to introduce the quote, and then after it, you have to explain it. And every paragraph has a concluding sentence that's going to link it to the next paragraph. So right there, that's at least 5 sentences. Each body paragraph will be just like that. And then your last paragraph is your conclusion. It's kind of the inverse of your introduction. Think of it as a introduction and conclusion as bookends to your essay. Okay, or buns. Here's the meat body paragraphs. They're the meat, the burgers. And the introduction and conclusion are the buns. That's where you, in your conclusion, kind of summarize what you have just said. And you might even add a little unifying idea to bring it all to closure. It's not easy to do. Talk to your teachers. We'd love to look over what you've got written before you turn it in, help you out. And once you've done all that, you can upload it to your assignment. Please do not hesitate to run anything by any of us teachers. We really enjoy it, and we enjoy this story as well. And I know we can help you to enjoy it and to enjoy this process of writing about it. So please let us know what your questions are, and have fun with this, guys. Bye-bye.